Hey guys, you're welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'll be sharing with you tips on how I got my job as a civil servant. I'll be sharing with you some tips which I think is going to be applicable in some ways to you. Sorry if you can hear any sound or voice. Just take it as the reason why videos have not been consistent, because noise is noising, and this is Lagos, Nigeria. Alright, start with, I saw a link. I actually had to verify the link if it was the correct link. So I saw the Lagos State Teaching Service Commission was the application now? No, it's a vacancy for classroom teachers, and I clicked on the link and I applied. Now remember, at the time I applied, I had not served yet. It was towards the end of 2020. Yeah, towards the end of 2020, after COVID. Yeah, that was the time I registered, and so I did not have my NYSC certificate, even though I was a graduate and I had not gone for service because of the COVID drama and all of that. But I registered anyways, hoping that by the time I would be called, I would have been through, or I would have gotten my NYSC certificate, because I was told that NYSC certificate is very, very important. And a lot of people told me that, oh, because I did not have my NYSC certificate, my application would not be considered, blah blah blah. But I registered, and then late 2022 I got a call. It was a call I got. I did not receive a text message, I did not receive a mail. I just got a text message to come to the Lagos State Teaching Service Commission office at Ikeja, Old Secretariat Ikeja, and I had to confirm the address. Like I need to put that out. I had to confirm the address on Google. My mom helped me make a few calls to some of our friends to find out if the venue for the interview was actually real, because you know what Nigeria is saying now, kidnappings and all of those things. We've had a lot of cases, and do not want to be a victim, despite the fact that I was praying. So I verified the address, then I went, and the person who called me on phone told me to come along with all of my credentials. So I went to the interview with all of my credentials, my secondary school, YX certificate, all of this, you know, the credentials basically. So I went with all of it, and my NYSC certificate, and sorry, I'm clapping. So I went with all of those, and when I got there, they had to check through our credentials to be sure that it was original and not fake. And after that, we were told to prepare for micro teaching, based on the fact that I was in the teaching line, or I applied for a teaching job, so to say. I applied for a teaching job, so I had to prepare for micro teaching, which is like a mock teaching, for those who don't understand what micro teaching is. So I had to prepare. We were told to prepare for it, and we went there. I did the micro teaching. After the micro teaching, we wrote a test. We wrote an essay, a written essay, and the essay was just 10 minutes. And after that, we were told to wait behind to find out if we would be considered, like if we were going to come the next day for our appointment letter or not. So we waited, and at the end of the day, a couple of us were told to come back the next day for our appointment letter. A few people were actually sent back home. So basically what you need to do is for you to be confident, because confidence really matters a lot. Those people, the interview is it interviewers or interviewees? I don't know, English is hard, I can't remember. But those people who interviewed us, what they were actually looking for was the boldness, the confidence, basically. I know a lot of people might say, oh, it was because of the election, blah blah blah, that was why they employed a lot of people. But I would say that if I can be favored, I do not know anybody, I did not pay anybody for anything, so it means that it can be anybody too. So it might be your own turn, luck might shine upon you. So basically, whenever you find any link that it's about a civil servant job, you can just apply, even if you don't have all the criteria they're asking for at that moment. But you know, eventually you would get those things, like the credentials and all of those things. Then you can apply in hope and with faith that you would get it. So after that, I went back the next day, collected my appointment letter. After I collected my appointment letter, we were told to make photocopies of our credentials. We were told to bring some passports. I can't count the number of passports I took there. I can't remember, not because I can't count. I can't remember, but we took quite a number of passports, maybe around 10, 12. I can't really remember, but we were told to come with a passport. We filled a lot of forms. We opened a bank account, a salary account. We asked to register for a pension account. Yeah, so after we did all of that, the banks also collected the passport and all of this. So we used a lot of passport. So you'll be needing a lot of passport. So after that, we were told to come back. We were told to go home, and then they will reach out to us to come back to know what district will be posted to based on our address, because we were told to put in the correct address, like the address of our permanent home and all of that. So after we did that, after we'd written our address and all of that, we were told that they would reach out to us on when exactly we need to come back to check. So we went. That same week, went for interview. We had to go to Alausa Adeyemi Bero Auditorium, just right in front of Ikeja City Mall. We were told to come there for Oracle something. I can't remember. We were told to come for Oracle. It was kind of like an orientation and kind of like a swearing in, where we had to document all of our names, details, just for it to be filed into the Lagos State government dashboard or portal or something like that. So we were not the only one who went there. We had other staff from nursing, from different arms of the government parastatal. So when they did our Oracle, that was where we got our Oracle number, which is like your identification number for being a staff of Lagos State government. Then after then, we had to wait. When we got our district, when we got to know our district, even though some of us had already known that this is the district we would fall in, when our names were put to the right district, then the district asked us we had to go to the district for another set of documentation. We took some of our files, our credentials. See, let me tell you, whenever you get lucky and get a job, just eat well, because it's not something you want to go there, rush and come back. It's going to definitely take like hours. Don't let me say days. It definitely took days, but then you have to eat because you want to be strong. And the stress of going upstairs, coming down, you have to sit down a whole lot. Those women there were some of them were friendly, some of them were like, this, you understand. But in it all, it was all for good, right? It was all for good. So after we had sorry, I'm just trying to. So when I reported to the school, I had to report to the school. When I reported to the school, I had to do some set of documentation again. So that's why I said you need a lot of photocopy. So you need to photocopy a whole lot of your credentials. So I did documentation at school. Passports were required. When we have, there is a particular form we call assumption of duty certificate. We also had to fill that just to show, and it was stamped and signed by the head of the school, the principal, so to say, that okay, we assumed duty on so date, and that assumption ADC, assumption of duty certificate, assumption of duty certificate. So when we're told that it is a very important form that we needed to keep, because throughout till the end of our service year, we would always be asked to show it as a proof, like different instances. And truly, it's been about 3 to 4 months that I started this job at the time of filming this video, and truly I cannot count the number of times they've asked me to make a photocopy of my ADC and bring it. So ADC for short is assumption of this certificate. So it's a very important and vital document. It's just a form, piece of paper, but it's very, very important. So I said so like 200 times in this video, but you people should just take it like that, because because I don't have a reason. I just have to say so. All right. After documentation at school, I had to resume work immediately. No, you take a particular ADC form back to the district so they can sign and approve, and they will give you a copy that you keep. The district also have a copy where they'll just have a copy for filing for documentation purpose. So I have my own copy, and after then I started work and all of that. But I need to put a disclaimer, because quite a number of people have said, oh, whenever you start civil service job, you might not be paid until after 3-4 months and all of that. For my case, I was not paid for, I resumed duty in November, but I was not paid for December, because at that time my Oracle number was not yet in the Lagos State portal dashboard and all of that. So I could not be paid, because there is a certain time they had already processed payments before I was employed. So my payment was delayed until January. My payment was delayed until January, when I got my first salary and all of that. So basically, whenever you have a case like that, what you do is that after you've gotten your first salary, you'll be issued a pay slip, which will be on your official email. Your official email will be generated by Lagos State government themselves, and they will let you know when your official email. For me, I did not have to go to Lagos State Science and Technology, because that is where a lot of people go in order for them to generate their official email. I didn't have to go there, because someone went on my behalf and behalf of my set, and they had to send us the link and how to go about the process. So we didn't have to go to Alausa. Your own case might not be the same. You might have to go to Science and Tech, or if you have someone in your group who is buoyant enough to go to Alausa on your behalf, then they'll get the procedure for you, and you can always generate and change the password of your official email yourself. So basically, that was what I did. Then I downloaded my payslip. Then after you've downloaded your payslip, how you are going to get your arrears salary, the salary you were not paid at the first month of your resumption, is that you have to write a letter through your principal. Then you write a letter yourself, your bank statement, and what else? That ADC, and that's how you're going to get your arrears, salary arrears, and all of that. So if you have any questions, sorry, I just had to rush to this video, and it's looking it's looking somehow, but just take it like that. I had to rush because it's so noisy. It's so noisy, and I do not want to delay this video further, because I had promised, and I promised that I want to be consistent. So I had to do this for you people. So if you have any questions at all, and don't forget, I promised in my last video that, did I promise? No, I think I'm just making the promise now. I can't remember. But basically, if I get any link for any of civil service job, I'm going to put it on my community tab on YouTube. That is why it is important for you to subscribe to the channel, so that whenever I post anything on my community tab, you can always see it. You can always see it and then act on it as you ought to. So that's it. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't mind me, I'm not on radio, but I'm still saying tuning in. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope to see you in the very next one. I pray God bless you, your home, your marriages, your relationship. I pray God bless every single thing that has to do with you. I forgot to mention that if you have any questions at all, put them in the comment section. I will let you know. I'll answer you as soon as I can. And if there are any video suggestions you want to give to me, let me know. Drop them in the comment section. You can send me a DM on Instagram at Moyosola Oluwayola. I'll put it on the screen, and I also link my previous video somewhere on the screen or in the description box below, so you can watch it. Don't forget to share this video to as many people as possible. I know a lot of us might have some reservation about Lagos State government, but I want to put this out that Lagos State government is working. Yeah, we might feel some kind of way about the way NSAS went and all of that, but that is not to dispute the fact that the Lagos State government is working, and they are working. I'm not being paid to do this. I'm only saying this because I'm a beneficiary, and beyond me even being a beneficiary of civil service job and all that, I'm supposed to have ended this video, but I just have to put this out. Even beyond being a beneficiary as in civil service, I've had the opportunity of attending series of training organized by Lagos State government, and I must say it's worked well. I joined the African Film Academy in collaboration with Lagos State Government Film in a Box, where I linked video editing, film production, and all of those things. And I must confess that they plunged a whole lot of money on that project, even though there were some hanky panky games that, let me just, before somebody will come for my life, there was some kind of stuff that I'm not meant to say on air, on media, but definitely Lagos State Government is working. And please, I don't know what to say at this point. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.